Little fuzzy there. All right. Good evening, YouTube. We're live from Not Burning Man. Psych you all out. Everybody all excited to see all the results from Burning Man. Ain't no way you could catch me in that place. But just a quick live here in the garden, checking in with everybody. I just saw the last couple hours. I've been seeing some of the tweets and stuff out of Burning Man. It's just hilarious to a certain extent. Hopefully, nobody gets hurt or sick out of that madness, but I wonder what the preparedness state of that joint is. Like, is anybody really prepared for what they're dealing with? Like, who showed up there with enough rations and provisions to get them through? It looks like they're going to be there past Monday, and I think everybody plans to leave tomorrow usually. So it's going to be interesting. Plus, they've got all kinds of sanitation issues. Um, Lessons learned. I guess we'll check this out when it all comes down. Like, number one, don't drive out in the middle of the desert in a little two-wheel drive vehicle, which is probably a large case for a lot of them, or really low all-wheel drive vehicles with really not much clearance is probably some of the situation going on there. There's lots of RVs out there. Seeing some of the videos and pictures, like, don't go in the middle of the desert without the ability. Oh man, if you've ever been out in some of these desert, because basically these are old lake beds, right? And the state of the silt when it gets wet like that is just it sticks to everything. It won't. I've got some old videos I got out four-wheeling that we did. I don't know if you've ever seen them. It just sticks to everything. It sticks to your whole undercarriage, and then it just accumulates and piles up. It's a lot like Afghanistan for those that are familiar with the moon dust out there. But man, what a disaster. And people can't get out, because it takes a while to dry out. We had a little bit of rain, and it looks like it's gonna rain again tomorrow or tonight up there. I mean, they don't make get out for another 3 days. Who knows? I don't know what kind of equipment they're bringing in. I think everything's been canceled. Everybody's shelter in place. It's whoo. It's pretty fun. It's kind of funny, but it's also like, hey, you gotta be prepared. Know what you're dealing with when you get out there, right? Or when you go somewhere. What's the worst case scenario in some respects? Like, what could really bad happen, to really get you outlast in your preparedness. People take water and food, but what could outlast them like that, right? So I guess that'll be a topic of conversation for a little while, seeing how people get out of there. I saw a video where Chris Rock, if you remember that guy, the comedian guy, he walked out with some people and some fan picked him up. So at least they had the common sense to just like abandon all hope and hoof it out, I guess. I don't know if that's good or bad. Like, you better hope where you're going to, and that person knows where to pick you up. And they did it, without out, the daytime. And I don't know. People start risking life and limb. You start hiking out in the desert, sitting by the side of the road, like, just all they're hoping for is a BLM ranger to drive by and pick them up, because likely that nobody else is going to save the day because there ain't nobody out there. But as much fun as you like to make of it, like, hopefully it's a lesson learned for all those rich people that have basically ruined a lot of the nature of the event, I guess, in some ways, and everything else. But yeah, we're not at Burning Man. That was just a psych. But who's checked in here? We got Alicia, Adventurous Guides of the Galaxy. What is going on, fellas and ladies? You back from your trip, Alicia? You're out in Kentucky. It's awfully late in Kentucky. I guess you're not on East Coast time, or are you? Adventurous Guide to the Galaxy has been doing lots of chats lately. I haven't seen a stacking guide to the Galaxy video lately. I'm sure they're out there. But yeah, the garden's kicking in. We're getting some harvesting in, doing the things. Lots of tomatoes, corn, the pumpkins, obviously letting them ripen up, but they're pretty much, these guys are all gonna be ready to go, get stored. The winter squash is gonna, still got a little ways to go. Watermelons are coming in, and we got our first watermelon last week. These guys just have to get a little bit bigger. These are smaller watermelon than, but yeah, we got some pumpkins over there on the far side. They're doing pretty good, just ripening up. Our second row of corn came in strong with our cooler, wetter weather we've had the last 2 weeks. That's actually taller than the other row, and this is all heritage Indian corn, multicolor corn, heirloom corn, basically on this row, and it's doing really good. Came in really strong with the cooler weather not being too hot. So some good results there. Not a lot of it, but what did come in came in strong. So hey, my corn we harvested, because this is all harvested from a couple years ago, and I use it as seed, and hey, that stuff's still pretty good. So we picked some today, and just wrapping it up this evening after watching a little bit of the foosball today, because it's first weekend of football, so it's all fun. Stackers is a little bit busy. Cool. Hey, no pressure. Just noting that I haven't seen anything from him. I may have missed it though. I could miss something too. That could easily happen. It's not like I catch everything. All you guys do. Yeah, I didn't know if you'd made your way back. Did you post your videos like after you got done? I guess not. You didn't post them as live or the day of. Probably a smart OPSEC way to do it. What's up, JJ? Right, the drowned rat party. It sounds like, or it looks like it's going, like I was just saying earlier, JJ, like it's a big mess, and hopefully everybody gets out of unscathed, but hopefully everybody learns their lesson too. Like driving out there in your little all-wheel drive Subaru doesn't cut it. I mean, it's sketchy going out in a Jeep. I mean, it's sketchy going, unless you have big tires. Like, you got to be set up to drive in that mess like that. You can't just be hoping you'll get by with some little four-wheel drive or something. It just bogs down. That stuff is slick and just a mess. You don't want nothing to do with it, you know. What's up, Howie? Food Forest. Wayne, I'm grateful. What's up? Good evening. Hope y'all, Gnostic, what's up? Oh, I just started there, Gnostic. I don't know, 10 minutes, not that long. We haven't been in here long. Who's, goodness gracious, dirty hippies. Right? How do I, there. Yeah, I was just, this last hour or so, I was really running down some of the videos and stuff, and it's just, I don't know, people need to learn, like some of those RVs they take out there and stuff, like, and granted, it doesn't rain very often, and it's rained years before. There's been other years where it's rained, so it's not like totally off the wall for it to happen, but it becomes such a mess, and there's so many more people there who are much more reliant on the stuff that is brought out to them than there used to be. In the old days, 10 years ago when they did Burning Man, everybody went totally self-contained. Hardly anybody brought anything out to you, and it was all exchanged and stuff. But now there's so many services that are brought out there, and there's so many more people that it's just a disaster waiting to happen, How we got hundreds of pounds of squash. Right on. Working hard, Howie. Yeah, I got some squash over here I showed. Ain't no 100 pounds, but I mean, it may be 100 pounds total, but it's definitely not hundreds. But I don't know, one of these days we'll get to some serious food production, not just these mediocre numbers we're putting out. But learn as you go, right? Learn as you go. Oh yeah, the pump trucks can't get out there. There's no way they would make it. any type of those sanitation trucks, they would. There's no way they get stuck in that heartbeat. Um, and they were wading in water yesterday. I think, but I think it's supposed to rain again tonight or tomorrow. You know, so it ain't like it's going to get better. Like I said, I don't know that they'll get out of here by Monday. That's when a lot of the reserve, the fall starts to run out. They put a message out there, everybody to conserve water and food. It's like, oh man, my system is losing connection. I was saying, if people start walking out thinking they're going to find where to go, I mean, for one, they drove out there. They should know there's no way to walk to where you want to get any type of help. If you can't drive or get a ride, and then if you're relying on somebody to come pick you up, that's sketchy. And it starts getting dark, and now if you're wet, it's breezy this evening, and out in the open, no shelter, like people get hypothermia. So it's one of those things people don't realize how bad it can get, even out in the desert. Like if you just make stupid decisions, just as simple as showing up to the wrong place, wrong time, Yeah, whoa. And my back, Howie, I know it spun out there for a little bit. What's up, Texas? Yeah, the Carolina game was on there for a little bit. I saw, right before I came out here, I saw the very first couple of the first quarter, but I don't know, is Carolina putting the boots to them or not? South Carolina might have a little bit something for them. Right, Alicia? 300 miles or more sometimes, depending on where you're at. Especially somewhere where there's not a lot of traffic. I mean, the closest road they can get to, and then be lucky anybody pass you except for BLM. And it's not like they're going to give you a ride. Like I was saying, Chris Rock hiked out with some people, and some fan picked him up. Like, how lucky you're going to be, right? Maybe I should drive out there and charge for rides. see who's out there on the road hanging out. And, I don't know, charge $500 a ride out to. I'll give you $500 to get to what's the name of that town up there? I can't remember. Anyway, it's super tiny. They have increased their services during Burning Man, but it doesn't pretty much have anything. It starts with the R, I think. Dang, I can't remember. Six minutes left. Everybody else is watching the game. Yeah, UNC's up. All right. Being stupid should. I mean, that's how you learn the hard way, right? But most of us learned the hard way back when we were like 12, right? By the time we're 30 and have $1 million, we kind of learn not to do stupid stuff. But people that go to Burning Man, nope, they gotta learn the hard way still. Gerlach, yeah, that's right. That's right, Alicia. Gerlach, R, not a R, G. GR, same letter. Yeah, Gerlach out there is the only thing close, and it's a long way away. And they can only support so many people. Like if you wanted to, there's no place to hardly stay. I think there's some extra trailers or cabins they bring out for this whole thing. And I guess if you make it that far, you might get a hot meal and a bathroom. That'd be about it. Yeah, Black Rock City is the actual Burning Man site. It's not really a city. That's what they call their trendy hip club now, is Burning Black Rock City, because it's 70,000 people out there in the middle of nowhere. It's basically like what, third biggest city in Nevada when it's going. Fourth biggest maybe. Henderson, Las Vegas, North Las Vegas, Reno, 5th, I guess. Sparks, it's still top 10 anyway when it's out there that big. Gerlach? No, Gerlach's bigger than Rachel. Gerlach's got actual buildings, and Rachel's only like the Alien Visitor Center and a gas station and a shop. Gerlach's actually got a fire department and some other stuff. Like, it's actually got stuff. There's a mine up there too. You know? Let's see. Well, yeah, Gerlach's bigger than Rachel. Rachel's super nothing. Yeah, Rachel's an example of that Area 51 thing. A whole lot of nothing. A bunch of people coming out there and trying to get in trouble. Clean that off a little bit. Starting to get a little dusky here. You can see it's cleared up here. I don't know, to the north up there, it may still be a little cloudy, but we got pretty clear skies. Just a little breezy after it rained this afternoon. But I think they're supposed to get more rain, so they ain't going nowhere anytime soon. We'll see if FEMA has to go out there and save the day, you know? Yeah, Rachel has that. Yeah, and Gerlach's about the same. Has a little tiny hotel, stuff like that. I think there's actually a small elementary school. And because that mine that's out there, stuff like that, you know. Who's that, Gnostic? Oh, yeah. Right on. Yeah, I know where you're talking. It's bigger than Gerlach, though. You know, that's a place that's blown up. Since they put in the Tesla place and everything, Silver Springs is... I mean, I looked out there when we first moved here, and Silver Springs was nothing. Like, nobody wanted to live out there. And now still nobody wants to, but that's all they can afford. But it has blown up compared to what it used to be, as far as the housing and stuff, and everybody that works out at the USA Parkway, out there where Tesla is, Panasonic, you know, and just crazy prices to live out there. It's like, are you kidding me? It costs that much to live in Silver Springs? Like, that's insane. But it's close to work for a lot of people and all this, and a lot of people sold and moved out because people that lived out in Silver Springs really wanted to be left alone, or they're meth dealers, meth makers. Meth has always been a problem out there, if I remember right. Things like that. But there's always been good people too. A lot of people just have horse properties and stuff out there. Alicia, Tonopah's the town to be in. You think so? It depends on what causes the end of the world, I guess. I mean, it's all right. There's not a whole lot of way to reconstitute any type of resources. You don't have any water up at Tonopah. You know, you got to rely on wells, and you know, it'd be nice to be close to a water source. Tonopah is really remote, though. Oh yeah. Well, goodness, I'm grateful. When was the last time you were out there? In Fallon, you're talking about? When you were in Fallon? Yeah, there's lots of housing, and I don't know if there's any I don't remember developments. Is there developments out there now? Oh, that's cool, Gnostic. Yeah, you wouldn't recognize it, Wayne. 2014? Yeah, compared to 2014, it's definitely bigger. The wind coming around here. I don't know, maybe we'll go inside for a minute. Didn't know where many people show up. I just wanted to comment on the Burning Man thing. Kansas has a lot of water. It would be good to have some water. Yep. Water's important. especially out here. Michigan has the most, says JJ. Right. Well, you got those lakes going for you. Uh, whatever happened with that Nestle trying to steal all your guys' water? Whatever happened with all that? Remember that was a big issue. The Nebraska-Wyoming border. Alicia asked the question to go to. At the end of the world. It's all subjective. I think one of the biggest things is you have to have something built in place before you go there, no matter where it is. Don't think you're just going to go somewhere at the end of the world and start building. Like we said a long time ago, like if you think you need to bug out now and build what you need and get in place what you need before you need to bug out and make your bug out place your primary place, right? Like I think Southern Prepper One said that years ago, and it really hit me. Like, and like that's what I always try to tell Tony too. Like, if you think you got to go, go now, and make your secondary your primary. Um, that's the ultimate goal. To get that going. But anywhere you select or think is a good spot, depending on what you think you're trying to go for, um, as far as what environment and everything, or just hunker down where you're at, bunker in place, and prepare as best you can, which is what most people do. It's most of us you can afford to do. It's where all your support network is. It's where all your resources are that you already have. Like staying where you are is a 90% solution for most of us. Um, just that's the better way to go. Don't try to overextend. We've talked about this many times. Overextending yourself and then getting caught with your pants down is not ideal. But you can always be like Wayne. Wayne made the move across the country. A lot of people. And Corsair just dropped the video that I didn't watch all of it yet. All right, Steve. I know it's out there, Steve. We'll get check in on you. I remember reading the title and browsing by it as I was going into the garden. So go check out Steve if you haven't checked out his video yet this evening. Nestle's still stealing it, huh, JJ? Yeah, I wish we had a way to save the water we got. The lakes are so full and stuff here right now. Like, there's no way to really save it. So a bunch of it's going to run out this winter. If there was a better way to stock some more of this water away that we've got, so it doesn't just disappear over the winter or the next few months, then we restart again. I don't know if we keep getting rain like we're getting, we might just have more flooding and just start the cycle all over again without going down. Maybe we'll turn Nevada into a vast grassland and full with forested mountains or something with all the water we're getting. Yeah, I got you, Corsair. I got you right now. Yep, we're doing it. We're going to do the things, and we'll get over and check your video out. No excuses. Yeah, so I guess if everybody hasn't seen the video out of Burning Man or the situation, go check that out and use that as some preparedness lessons. That'll probably be good after action for you, Steve. Do some after action items on the Burning Man event and how even going to a party, a big festival can turn sideways pretty quick if you're even the slightest bit dependent on what's going on out there, and then you don't prepare accordingly. Getting stuck with 60,000 other people with deteriorating services and sanitation is not ideal. And I don't know how many people thought that through, but not many of them, I'm sure. And when you got rich guys like Chris Rock bumming for rides after walking 5 miles out, like it's getting a little sketchy, Uh, that should be your first sign to abandon ship. All the rich folks are leaving. Might be time to roll out, you know? So hopefully everybody that can leave will. Um, yeah, Alicia, it wasn't a tornado. It was basically a dust devil caught the whatever fire was going on. It wasn't the burning of the man, but I guess a dust devil caught some fire out there after the or before the rain. I don't know which day it was. I saw that video too. It was just a dust devil, basically. I believe. No, not the protest, Corsair. There's basically a mud bog going on with 60,000 people sitting in the middle of it out there. Go check some of the news stories. It's probably on Drudge. I know it's all over Twitter. I haven't checked. I haven't checked Drudge. It's all over Twitter. And obviously, it's in the local news here, so a lot of the local stuff's going on about it. Um, People stuck up there and whatnot. So go check that out and give us some good AAR points to learn from, as only as you can deliver. JJ says it expects the Chinese to show up there in Michigan. You're talking about? They didn't know you had copper mines up there, JJ. We got lots of copper down here, out here. Yeah, they're not type to plan ahead. Yeah, probably not. Huh? Or the ones that do, they only planned, like I said, they only planned Monday. They plan to stay till Monday. They got everything they need, maybe if they're lucky, or they plan to buy a certain amount of stuff while they're out there, or trade as they call it. They do a lot of training and stuff, trading and stuff, bartering out there. But they only plan to be there till Monday or tomorrow night, and then they roll out like it's all safe. And now they're gonna be stuck there maybe till Tuesday, Wednesday. You know. Um, hey, Gerald B, what's up? Good evening. JT checking in. What up? Good evening. Um, I mean, who wants to get stuck in the middle of nowhere with 60,000 people, you know? That just sounds stupid. I mean, literally the middle of nowhere. It's just not ideal. And people take their kids out there. There's kids stuck out there with their families. Like, what's that like? What's going through their heads and what's that all about? You know, like, oh man, just shake your head. Yeah, is it 73,000 leash? Is that the official number now? Yeah, it's like every year they bump the number. It's like, how can you continue with these numbers? Like, I remember it was 40,000 and 50,000. It's like that kind of increase. You talk about inflation, that type of thing. Uh, how do I? God, good job. I guess it had to be JJ. I don't have anybody else. Huh? How are none of you guys moderators? Now Barrywood shows up. Speaking of moderators, is that right, JJ? Cindy M, good evening. Thanks for checking in. It's just funny, says Steve. Yeah, right. It is kind of funny, Steve. It's a interesting situation. That's hopefully everybody gets out unscathed and learns their lesson to appropriate. What's up, Angel? What is going on? Where you been hiding out at? Haven't seen you on the group chat. All your situations there have been restored. Let us check in with us on the group chat when you get a chance, if you can. I don't know what the situation is on numbers and stuff, but check in with us. Let us know how you're doing. It's good to hear from you, man. I know South. I know South Miami's not always the best location lately either. You've had your share of issues down there, and it is getting close to cutting out here. Good to see y'all. Thanks for checking in. Oh my goodness, who all just checked in all of a sudden? We're just on a formal chat. Have everybody a chance to say hello to each other. Everybody say hi to each other. Make sure you say hello back. A lot of old timers checking in here that we haven't seen in a while. Barry and Angel and everything. Good to see you. Yeah. But yeah, I just want to throw it out there. Show the garden. If you missed the garden update at the beginning, but it is what it is. Not like Howie and Food Forest up there um, with all his doings, but we're getting the garden wrapping up some of the stuff. It's going to start getting cooler, so going to have to start planning, uh, wrapping that up, and getting all the squash in and stuff like that. That second row of corn will be coming in here next 2 weeks, and by October we'll be pretty much cutting everything down. And it's looking good, Barry. That's good to hear. Pika, what is up? What is going on down south? Are you still in Vegas, Pika? I can't remember if you were still. I know you traveled to Mexico for a while, and you travel all over, but I don't know if you're still in Vegas primarily. I thought you were, but once you grow up, man, you're doing all the real things, you know. No tattoo. No, no, we're not at Burning Man. We were not that stupid. That was just a shout out to all the regular viewers. Kind of what we're going to be talking about. Just kind of hitting on the Burning Man situation and the just total goat rope that it is, and people leaving their safety and security up to total strangers, and just how people don't plan ahead for even the littlest things, and just totally. I mean, it's a vulnerable situation, especially when you're out there in the middle of nowhere. Very vulnerable and tens of thousands. You know what I'm saying? Tens of thousands of people exposed, and in a perilous situation potentially if water supplies continue to run low or sanitation and health situation, and who knows what happens. I guess we'll see. But Steve's going to do an AAR because he promised me. Steve. uh, so hey Matt, what's up? You haven't seen me in 6 years. Where you been? We've been around. Where have you been? Or have you talking to somebody else? Angel's been very quiet. He may be who you're talking about. Yes, Indy, it is, and it started, yesterday. So the sanitation is definitely, especially the uh, what do you call it, porta potties and all the porta johns and stuff like that, not being able to be serviced is quickly becoming a big time issue. Not just the mud and everything else not being able to get clean, but the that sanitation and not being able to shower in that mud and stuff. I mean, I don't know. It can't be good. And people, I don't know. Not everybody's the best at field hygiene, if you know what I mean. So I would imagine there's a lot of stuff going on that no, there's probably a lot of stuff in and up outside of porta potties that you just happen to walk across or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And who knows how much bottled water is left and stuff like that. So we'll see. I'm sure we'll get more reports and more information as it goes on. But plan ahead, have a escape plan. I guess don't be like Chris Rock and think you can walk 5 miles and get a ride from just some random person, because that's not going out too well either. Because there's not a lot of people that drive by there to begin with, and then to rely on somebody else to drive out there and pick people up if you really need to get out, or if you're really desperate to get out, which I would imagine a lot of people are. So Chris Rock's got money. Who knows who he paid off to come out there? A lot of people don't have that kind of money. Even though Burning Man costs a lot, they pretty much save up all to do that. A lot of them. But okay, Pika, you're still in Vegas. Cool, cool. I just wanted to check. I know yeah. I'll check in on you every now and then. Right? If I drink an unsanitized water or something, Wayne. Yeah, in 3 days it could get really ugly. So that's basically, we're 48 hours in from when it really kicked off, and so tomorrow evening it could really start to show signs, especially if they were already like sort of compromised health wise, dehydrated and stuff. And if they get dehydrated plus that, it's going to get worse and worse. So hopefully everybody brought their own soap and some toilets and some wet wipes, and have the essentials and some a good supply of trash bags or shopping bags to bag some stuff up and isolate it and double bag it, and things you do when you're hiking that you might need to apply when you're a Burning Man. And then hypothermia. If people get wet and they're not able to get warm, like especially if they're out walking around, who knows what's happening. That's true, Cindy. There's a lot of trash that comes out of there. A lot of things that bikes, pop-up tents, stuff, even on a good year. Like people will just leave it on the side of the road. Uh, Pop-up tents, bikes, stuff like that just gets dumped all kinds of places that people take up there. And it's already covered in the dust, and now it's gonna be covered in mud and stuff, and it just gets dumped all over the place in random spots where people just, I'm sure it's dark because when you drive up there, I could probably drive out Monday morning and just find it up and down the road in certain spots where somebody's driven by and just thrown it, disposable coolers, styrofoam coolers, and it's come from Burning Man. It's because it's just like clockwork. As soon as people start leaving, it's just all over the roadsides, all up and down. I don't know how far south it goes or how far east and west, but I'm 200 miles from Burning Man probably, and it gets all the way down here, and you see it all over the place. People drive by in their dust-covered cars and just stuff hanging all over the place, and they just leave stuff everywhere. So it's a mess once they leave. It doesn't all go ends up in waste management a long roundabout way, but um, it's not always handled the best by everybody. I mean, sure, a lot of people take care of business with what they're doing, but a lot of people don't. And all it takes is a couple dozen to make it look really bad. It doesn't have to be a couple hundred. But I don't know what. I mean, Reno's north of me, and they catch a lot of people. Figure a lot of people that go to the airport after they leave there probably dump a bunch of stuff in Reno and stuff. You know, the, the car washes, Cindy. You're worried about the important things. Talking to Londoners at Spanish Springs. Were they the ones involved in that protest at Pyramid Lake and got ran over? Burning Man's had all kinds of attention this year. You got tribal police scooping people up. You got range. You got fire tornadoes. You got all kinds of craziness going on up there. Yeah, they do seem to spend quite a bit, but I think we're going to jet out of here, folks. It went longer than I expected, and I'm expecting to eat something here shortly. So I'm going to go eat some dinner because it's about that time. It's dark outside now. So we're going to wrap it up. And thanks everybody for checking in. But remember, you got to prep hard. Prep hard. No matter your situation, even if you're going to a party, even if you're going to a big party with a lot of people, think of some of the outliers and at least have your E&E plan set, right? Have a plan set to where you can get out of the situation and not be stuck elbow to elbow with 60,000 people with no sanitation. Don't get in that situation if you're smart. So be good, y'all. We'll see y'all in the back end. We'll hopefully check in on some of your videos and see you around here on the YouTube. Prep hard, live free.